Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sign1News. I'm Sign1News anchor, Christopher D. Johnson. Here's a quick look at the top trending stories making headlines today. If you post an interesting comment about this update, we may add it at the bottom of the screen. Today, officials with the Coast Guard made the sad announcement that debris found on the sea floor matches the exterior of the OceanGate Titan Expedition submersible that has been missing since Sunday. The debris was found about 1/3 of a mile from the wreckage of the Titanic wreck. The Coast Guard said the debris is consistent with a catastrophic implosion of the vessel, likely due to loss of pressure inside the vessel. All 5 of the passengers on board are believed to be dead, and their families have been notified.
On behalf of the United States Coast Guard and the entire Unified Command, I offer my deepest condolences to the families. I can only imagine what this has been like for them, and I hope that this discovery provides some solace during this difficult time.
The Coast Guard says it will continue its search for the bodies of the passengers and try to figure out a timeline of the tragedy. But they say it's too early to discuss whether there will be an investigation. In Glendale, California, while administrators were inside a school board meeting discussing the district's LGBTQ policies, this huge fight broke out between supporters and opponents outside the building. The school board was attempting to vote on a resolution proclaiming June as LGBTQ plus Pride Month. Authorities say 200 people were at the demonstration and a few punches were thrown, but no arrests were made. This is the second time demonstrators have clashed over gender and sexual identity curricula in district schools in recent weeks. The Glendale School Board eventually voted unanimously to approve the resolution. Twitter owner Elon Musk has added 2 words on the list of recognized slurs on Twitter. The 2 words are cis and cisgender. Cis is Latin for on your side. And the American Psychological Association defines gender as, quote, the attitudes, feelings, and behaviors that a given culture associates with a person's biological sex. Cis and cisgender are usually used to describe someone who is not transgender. The 2 words have become points of contention as heated debates take place across the U.S. over policies targeting the transgender community. Musk also hinted that using the words in repeated targeted harassment could lead to a temporary suspension on the platform. If you're going to Florida for vacation, beware. A giant seaweed blob called sargassum is piling up on the Florida coast, and it could be carrying illness-inducing bacteria. The seaweed can serve as a marine habitat while adrift at sea. But as it reaches shore, it picks up everything in its path, including plastic and debris. Researchers say that, combined with the Florida sun, can create the perfect environment for Vibrio bacteria to cultivate, and that can cause flesh-eating infections. Here's the good news. Scientists have not found any of the flesh-eating bacteria in the sargassum samples they tested yet. But they warn that it could still be present in the water. Experts advise people to stay away from clumps of sargassum and not to swim in waters that appear filthy. The bacteria can enter through minor wounds like cuts, scrapes, or scratches. And while infections are rare, they can be severe when they happen. Writers Guild of America members took their labor dispute with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers to the streets of Los Angeles, shouting, "We are the writers, the mighty, mighty writers." And this time they were not alone. Members of SAG-AFTRA, the Writers Guild, Directors Guild, and other Hollywood unions rallied to support the writers. In total, there were about 1,000 people joining in the protest. The Writers Guild has been on strike for more than 7 weeks, and more union protests could follow. Right now, the Directors Guild is currently working on whether to ratify a new 3-year deal. And SAG-AFTRA, the actors union, could be facing their first strike in more than 40 years after their current contract ends June 30th. The Food and Drug Administration is developing new nutrition labels that would appear on the front of packaged food. The FDA is hoping that the information on the front will be more clear and easily understood so consumers can make healthier choices and avoid diet-related chronic diseases. The FDA also believes the new labeling will encourage the food industry to develop healthier products that Americans will want to buy. The agency is pushing to have these new front label regulations out by this December. The labels will be in addition to existing nutrition facts already found on the back of packaged foods. What do you think about the idea of nutrition labels on the front of packaged goods?
Oh, really? Is it well?
And finally, here is a first look at the new stamp honoring the late Congressman and civil rights legend, John Lewis. State and federal leaders gathered at the Capitol for the unveiling of the new Forever stamp. The stamp features a picture of Lewis taken in 2013 for Time magazine. The Georgia civil rights activist was one of the planners and speakers at the historic March on Washington in August 1963. Lewis spent more than 30 years in Congress defending and building civil rights for Americans before passing away in 2020 from pancreatic cancer. And that's it for today. Sign1News will be broadcasting updates Monday through Friday. Thank you for watching. A big thank you to our Sign1News app supporters. You help make this broadcast happen. You can download the Sign1News app by heading to the App Store or Google Play Store on your smartphone. But if you prefer to watch on a big screen, iPad, television, or laptop, you can watch through Apple TV, Amazon, and Roku. Take care.